Great, thanks everyone. As you all know, you're here to hear about careers in investment management. A little bit about myself. I grew up in Canada and I went to McGill and studied Bachelor of Commerce with a focus on finance as an undergrad. And then right out of my undergrad program, I was an analyst in M&A at UBS Investment Bank. From there, I basically had finished the typical 2-year analyst training program and was looking for jobs on the buy side, maybe similar to you guys are right now. And I came across the asset management world through Deegan, which is a fund of hedge funds based in Canada. They transitioned me to a role in New York, fell in love with the city, and moved over to Willett Evisors, which is a family office and foundation for a wealthy family in New York. So between those two roles, it's mainly the roles I've mainly have been investing in funds as opposed to direct investing at a hedge fund or private equity fund, but have a ton of interaction with both of those types of organizations as well. So the first thing we're going to talk about is just an overview of the industry. It is a bit of a different industry in that it's very fragmented and not as easy to find the jobs such as investment banking. You kind of know who the big players are. With the asset allocation industry, there's actually, a ton of opportunity as well as a ton of money on this side. Pensions are very large allocators, general asset managers at banks, family offices, endowments and foundations, insurance companies, private wealth managers. There's really, a ton of different places where you can find a role. The trick is, I would say, finding the positives and negatives of working at each of these places. Pensions are large organizations with lots of red tape. Family offices can move a little quicker, so finding the right kind of environment for you is definitely something to consider. The types of strategies that asset managers generally look at include private equity, hedge funds, real estate and real assets such as commodities, public market and direct investments. So a lot of that is just putting on bigger trades, sizing up in publicly traded assets. There's also a lot of opportunity in cash management and treasuries, which is not something a lot of people talk about, but trading yield curves is something that a lot of asset managers think about on the insurance side, on the pension side. And then there's the more traditional mutual funds that you and I have gotten to know, I'm sure, over our lifetime, such as Fidelity, and they're generally big and out there, and you've heard of them. The different roles that you can have asset managers are pretty broad. The role that I've worked on is the investment research and due diligence role, where you're sourcing new investments, researching markets, just really doing some deep dives on things to put in the portfolio or sometimes to kick out of the portfolio. You can be an economist, especially these days, everything is related to the macroeconomy. People are obsessed with it, so if you have that kind of background, that's highly valued in the industry. Risk management is another thing that's highly valued these days, so if you've got a quant background, or I think some of you may have a master of science background, that's really something that paramount importance right now. Stress testing portfolios and really putting your math skills to work. And then more generally, portfolio management and diversification analyses, as well as just balancing things going in and out of the portfolio is definitely a more strategic role that you can have as well. And then there's operations. That side of things is more along the lines of making sure you're just not taking any legal risks or things that the investment team may not be thinking about in their background and due diligence.